Good morning, everyone. It's the Pips Prophet, and I'd like to welcome you to another live streaming session with the Pips Prophet. Okay. Um, Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're joining me from. Okay. Today is 17th day of June, and I'm just gonna do a quick review on the Euro USD charts. Okay, I just want you to follow me gradually so you understand what I'm doing. Okay, so basically, this is our Euro USD. Last week was the CPI week, and we had to sideline. We took our trade on Friday, Friday scalping, which was right here. Okay, and today is Tuesday. Today um, we look to take our trade. Okay, if we see our signature play out much later. Okay, so first thing we want to look at the economic calendar and what the fundamentals is saying, so that we will know if this week is going to be a high volatility week or it's going to be a low volatility week. Okay, so by that, we're just gonna go to the Forex factory. Okay, we're just gonna go to the Forex factory, and here we are on the Forex factory, and we're just gonna look at yesterday was June 16th, and you could see that from the pairs which we outlined here, we didn't have any high impact news. So that was the more reason why the trade yesterday was very, very, very low probability. Okay, so and that's one of the reasons why I choose to sideline on Mondays. Okay, I just want to sit back and watch the market do its thing on the Mondays, so that will give us an insight and the trade direction for the week. All right. So that was it for yesterday, and then today, let's see what we're expecting. We're expecting that on Tuesday, June 17th, 4:30 a.m. High impact news on the JPY. This was already passed, and right now it's 9:29 GMT plus one here in Nigeria. Okay, West Africa. So I could see that by 10 a.m., a medium impact news was expected and is expected rather, okay, on the Euro USD. And from the data here, it reads that Euro is going to strengthen, which we're anticipating to see a buy for the Euro. Okay, a short-term buy for those who are scalping. Then by 1:30, we have a very significant news right here on the USD. Uh, yeah. So on Wednesday, we also have a high impact news CPI on GBP, right, by 7 a.m. Okay, so I'm going to trade this news. And also by 1:30 p.m. Okay, USD unemployment claims. We have a high impact news. And by 7 p.m., we are going to have FOMC. Okay, All right, that's a very, very high impact news. We are expected to see a high volatility pushed by the reaction and impact of this FOMC economic projection. Okay, news. And by Thursday, we have a high impact news 2:30 a.m. on the Australian dollar and also on the CHF. Yeah, and we also have a high impact news on the GBP by 12 p.m. Okay, so Friday it's a low probability day, although we have news, high impact news on GBP by 7 a.m. and on JPY 7:40 a.m. and that's how the week is gonna run. Okay, so if you ask me, I will say it's gonna be we're expected to see a very high movement on the charts this week. All right, so if you trade news, um, this week it's going to give you a very, very high profile, high opportunity. And if you don't trade news, then you have to be careful with your position and your set sizing this week. Okay. So for me, I have a separate account for scalping. I have a separate account for trading news. I have a separate account for taking my best trading model, which is the one shot, one kill model. Okay. And that's the model that I prefer to use. Why? Because it gives me time to do other things. Okay. And also gives me a high probability trades, and also very, very quality trades. Uh, yeah, so let's go to the charts. Excuse me. So we have the Euro USD right here. Let's look at what the dollar index is doing. So long term, remember we want to look at the market long term before we go to the uh, lower time frames. Okay, so let's see from the higher perspective. Remember, we had our mitigation block formed on the DXY and price retested back into this region right here. Okay, which is a discount region. Okay, has gone past 50%, and we see that reaction right to the upside from this point, and price did what? Came back to a premium point, premium RE right here. Okay, respecting this fair value gap here, we have a fair value gap right here. See how price rejected at that point. Okay, and due to this fair value gap, and also what? Also price was rating around price was around premium level. And remember, I keep telling you, at premium level you want to sell, okay? At discount level you want to buy. Buy should be one of your strongest confluences. So at this point, price had tapped into 50% of our dealing range. We want to sell, guys. And we have two confluences here. All right, the fair value gap and also this bearish bullish other block, right? This other block, right? Inverse bearish other block. Okay, so it's a strong reason to sell. Okay, that was a sell right there on a Monday. Okay, market pushed down, cleared out the pool of liquidity right below this equal lows, into a fair value gap right here, very tiny one. You have to pay attention for you to see it right here, which is in confluence with the bullish other block right here. Price stopped right into it, pushed up a little bit to cover this displacement right here. So this was the impact of the CPI. You could see it was really, really massive. Yeah, for those who traded, this CPI caught about seven, right? Yeah, caught about 7,756 pips on the DXY. That was massive, guys. So price action sweeps liquidity right here. So it's a reason for us to begin to look for buy signals on the DXY. Why? Reason being that we have a structure on the higher time frame and long-term price is bullish. We consider this an impulsive move and a retracement, impulsive, okay, into internal range liquidity. Price went to external. And remember, I told you guys the market delivery algorithm is that the price action moves from internal range liquidity to external range liquidity, from external back to internal, internal back to external, and that's exactly what has been happening here, right? External, price swept out this external liquidity, came back to internal liquidity, and swept the external, right? Came back right to internal range liquidity. What do we expect to see? This is our draw on liquidity for the long term, um, for long term forecast. This is our draw on liquidity. We need to see market sweep this external and also this external. The market may likely sweep this, retrace a bit, and target to sweep the ultimate high right here. Okay, so we will be looking for a buying. We'll be looking to buy the dollar index. Okay, following the FOMC. So which means let's go to the lower time frames and see what's the lower time frame saying on the 15 minutes. Now let's go to the 1 hour. Yeah, so this is the time frame which we look to take our entries, our one shot, one kill entries. So you can see we have a displacement, one side movement to the downside. So now we are beginning to see some form of structure market repriced into internal range liquidity, cleared out external range liquidity, and bullish candles are beginning to build up right here, guys. Market open, push down. All right. So we need to see the market much later push to the downside and see some form of liquidity being swept. Okay. Maybe below previous day high or previous week high for us to initiate our buy for the week. Okay. Into we like to first target realistic targets, and I'm saying this volume imbalance right here. Okay, price week into week. Right, I would like to see price, although it has been retested already, but I would like to see it still a week in week. To see all through you have week in week, so it's a valid point that I may like to likely keep my first realistic target for the week at that point. Okay, so um subsequently we like to target higher prices by measuring our fit to, yeah, so this falls around the 50% region. So it's a very, very realistic point to target on the daily time frame on the DXY, guys. Okay, so that is going to be our first target and ultimately this high right here. So remember, we're targeting to buy the dollar index for the week. Let's go to the 1 hour time frame and see what's happening. So it's always good you do your analysis from the dollar index so you can measure the strength of the dollar. So just so you can know exactly what you should be doing in the chart. So you can see some more structure right here. So this was the volume imbalance we mapped, we outlined earlier on. We can put a text here just so we don't forget. Okay, so this is it. We see what the market is doing here. We have some form of structure here. Failure swing here, market broke structure. Retested back into the bullish order block right here, which form as a very strong support for us. Okay, see how price tapped into it, then rejected off that zone. So, if you ask me, I'll say, let's see what the market will do during the New York session. Okay, since we have our FOMC on Wednesday, alright, we still have time to see what the market is really going to do. Okay, so likely we may likely get our one shot one kill entry tomorrow. Okay, by 5:30 to 6, we'll start looking at the market to see for our sweep and entry. Okay, so probably the market is going to sell off much later the DXY to give us a discount to a discount zone. Okay, to give us a very suitable entry so that our stop loss will be minimal. Okay, because ordinarily I wouldn't want to be buying from this point. Why? Because if you buy from this point, your stop loss is going to be big. You will see it's going to be very large because you want to put your stop loss below all of these weeks, right? So we don't want our stop loss to be very big. What we're risking to be big. So uh, we would like to see price retest back into this bullish order block. Why? Because we have a structure here. Market gave a breaker right here, a bullish breaker pattern. You could see like a W pattern, right? This high was what rated. It was swept. Okay, breaker structure right here. Price is retesting. Okay, accumulating here to retest back into this zone right here. Since we don't have a fair value gap here, we'll likely take this as our point of interest, higher time frame point of interest. That's POI. Okay, guys, so soon as I see the market sell off into this region, being that this was the last bullish order block that triggered the break of structure right here, then I will trigger my execution, right? Yeah, that's basically what I'm looking to see. Okay, so buying at this point will give us a smaller um, risk exposure on the DXY. So we're looking to see DXY sell to buy. Okay, sell to buy, sell to buy. So the market is likely going to form. If it sell off to this point, we're going to see a strong rejection week right here. So perhaps to clear out the next external range liquidity, that's internal to external, then after this has been rated, by tomorrow, hopefully by that news, we'll see in the morning, we'll see price sell off to clear out the week that it created. So before the FOMC news, which we expect to see the massive bullishness on DXY, guys. So that's my projection for the DXY. And let's quickly look at what the Euro USD is saying. Okay, Euro USD, we're just gonna do the opposite. Yes, we're just gonna do the opposite. Okay, so I'm looking to sell. I already took. Yeah, that's it right here. So you can see a very clean structure right here. Market gave a mitigation block structure right here. Breaker structure, market retested back, swept liquidity above this high, pushed to the downside, formed bearish mitigation breaker right here. And what do we have? What do we have here, guys? Just exactly the opposite of what we saw on the DXY. Price broke structure right here, came back into this fair value gap, rejected. Okay, rejected. Am I going to be selling off right here? Not yet, not yet. Okay, have to wait for price to give me a very good point to sell. Okay, remember we don't have a fair value gap right here. So there's a chance is right at the OTE, sitting at the OTE zone. We have a bearish order block here. Okay, this was the last bearish order block that triggered the sell to the downside. Okay, guys, beautiful. So we have our points right here. This resistance point are very, very, very strong targets. Okay, I hope to see the market. Yeah, it already reached out for this bearish order block right here. So let's see if it's going to push up. If I see price push up sweep liquidity right here, hey, I would love to take my shot right here. Putting my stop right above. It could be here. I don't want to risk too much. So 28, 28, 28 is not bad for the week. Okay, so I will likely risk that, and let's do a reasonable target for our first target for the week will be, yeah, this fair value gap right here. Okay, there's a fair value gap right here, so we'll just target 119 pips, and we're good. We're good, guys. Woo! And I have a very sweet target right here. Very sweet spot. Double bottom right here. Okay, but we want to take our first realistic target, P1. As soon as price gets to this place, this point here, we take partials and let the rest of our trade to run. Okay, so this is going to be CP2, and boom, that's what we're looking to see. And we have another very interesting point right here, guys. Okay, so we're just going to look at the higher time frame and see on the higher time frame what our realistic target is going to look like. Okay, so here we go. Yeah. So remember we are targeting to buy on the DXY. So we will be targeting the sell. right? So that's it for this morning. That's what we anticipate for the week. Okay, a sell into this bullish order block on the weekly time frame, then we anticipate a bullish move. All right, thank you so much for your time, and that's all for now. I'll keep you updated on the progress of the trade for the week, okay, and what the Euro USD is doing. All right. So if you've not subscribed to the channel, click on the subscribe button, like the video, share, and also drop your question in the comment section. And if you want to get a platform that can fund you, okay, check my bio, okay, and click on the link to get a $1,000 life funded account for just $43. That's insane, guys. There's no limit to the fund you can get. There's no need for evaluation challenge. You get funded straight up, okay? With a 70 to 30% split, you get 70, they get 30, okay? And you can get funded as much as 500,000 USD. Just click on the link in my bio to register now and get funded. All right, cheers, and I remain Pips Prophet. God bless you, see you, and have a peaceful week. Cheers.